What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about OnyxCoin today, XCN. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, okay? It is the 28th day of July, and here we are with about 11 hours, 24 minutes left in the day, sitting at 1.64 cents, consolidating, moving sideways, being boring. You know how it goes, man. We've been boring and sideways in this range really since April 11th, and the days in this range are numbered, right? We're breaking out one way or the other, probably not to the downside. I doubt that we're going to break out to the downside. We'd more likely move sideways rather than break out to the downside, but I do believe that we're going to be moving up here pretty soon. I am expecting some good things coming over the next 3.5 days just for the end of month. And looking at this on the daily RSI or daily indicators here, stochastics are bouncing and even rejecting, I would say, off the oversold zone, pointed to the upside. MACD is at an area where you'd expect it to bounce as well, decaying in bearish momentum. The RSI is consolidating right below the 50, and that isn't necessarily ideal, but you are finding support at the 40, the same area you found support at before, the same area that you found support at before, and even found resistance at in this area as well. So talking about ideal, there's two out of three of these indicators. Actually, really 3 out of 3 indicators are showing ideal things. It's just I don't like that we're consolidating below the 50, but it's better than rejecting. It's better than rejecting at it, right? It's like finding support around this area is nice, but the fact that we didn't bounce actually promoted some decay. So, anyways, I think that we're looking good on the daily time frame. If we look at this on the 1 hour time frame here, 1 hour time frame does look like we're getting lower lows in the RSI, but we have higher lows in the price. It's hidden bullish divergence. That's good. Stochastics are in the oversold zone. We haven't been long lived in this oversold area, so I'm assuming this move down from like 1.7 cents to 1.64 cents. That's probably the most we're going to see there. And the MACD is also getting to an area where you'd expect it to bounce. So looking for some upside between now and probably the time most of you watch this video. Honestly, we should be back, I think, even up above 1.7 cents going into the end of this day, but we'll see. 4 hour time frame here. Let's see if this agrees with that thought. Yeah, I like the 4 hour looks good. The RSI bouncing right off the 50 here. We got 3 hours 22 minutes left in this 4 hour time frame. Let's see how it upholds. But if it can close green, we'll get a nice bounce off the 50. Same thing with the stochastics. And the MACD actually might be shaping up to cross above the 0, which, you guys, this is big, right? These things are both big, and the reason why they're big is, bouncing off the 50 is good, suggests that you get into the overbought zone, getting into the overbought zone is good, right? Both of these things in themselves, just in themselves, would suggest that we're breaking out of this range, but to the upside, okay? That's what they suggest. But alongside with the MACD, that's a major shift, I think. Very major shift. The last time that we crossed above the MACD was over here, okay? Right over here, and look at that. Talking about major shifts in price, look at how big the move was, right? I think that we're going to see something just like this, and maybe not today, but over the coming days, going into the end of the month here, we should be moving up to prices that are well above 3 cents. Yeah, we're at 1.64 cents now, so some glorious stuff is about to happen, guys. And if anything, again, and I've said this before, I think that this move was nice. This move is going to be nicer. It's going to be bigger, more robust, faster, all those things, all those things. So definitely looking forward to that. We should be up higher by the end of the day. That's my expectation. I think that we will see some movements to the upside. If we're looking at this on the daily time frame now with all this stuff, again, stochastics look great, RSI decent, MACD is right at an area that you expect it to bounce. The daily candle right now looks a little bearish, but I'm not swayed by that. We've had bearish looking candles before and moved up in the face of that, right? I mean, look at right here, right? For example, we've had bullish looking candles and then moved down in the face of that. We've had bearish candles and moved down as well, but I don't think it's going to happen here. Really, we've had like 2 days in a row, 3 days in a row of bearish candles. We haven't moved down, so I think that's a good thing, not a bad thing. Golden ratio 236. We should be making an abrupt move at least up to here, 2.5 cents to 2.3 cents over the coming days, but I really do think that it's going to be faster and louder than that. We'll be up above 3 cents, 4 cents, and even making our way up to about 8 cents, if not by the end of this month over the next 3 days, then sometime in very early August. And I'm at this point in time, I'm starting to think that we don't see 8 cents by the end of the month, more around that 3 to 6 cent area, something in there. But I do still expect rather robust growth over the coming days. Halfway through this week and going into the end of this week as well. Looking at the weekly time frame. Putting it at a high here to the low here of this overall range that we've been bound to since January, end of January there. High to low. The expectations immediately would be somewhere around 8.2 to 15.7 cents, something in this zone here. Once we break about 15.7 cents, we're home free to 26 to 32 cents, something like that. I very, very, very much anticipate that we'll get there. And from the current price, you know, the minimum target expectation would be about a 15x, almost a 16x from here. The maximum target expectation would be something on the lines of like a 19x. So a lot of good things coming our way, you guys. We just got to wait, got to be patient. Yes, it's a 19x now. It was a 20x at some point, but we've come up from that wick from last week, so that 20x potential has gone away. It's not that we can't 20x. You never know. You can wick above here. Maybe a 20x is still possible, but I'm thinking more so we stop probably somewhere between 26 to 32 cents. Not either of these areas necessarily, but something in between. That's the expectation there. New all-time highs, new moves, big moves. Expecting this to happen over the next 4 weeks, essentially. I've got nothing else for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. Volume is dead on the weekly time frame. Volume is absolutely dead, and you know that you're about to break out of a consolidation phase whenever your volume is dead, right? That's essentially what happens, right? Here, your volume started to die off, and then you started to break out, right? That's exactly what happened here. Here, volume started to die out. You broke out. Here, volume was dead, then you started to break out, right? Volume's dead. It's starting to come back in a little bit and to the upside. Of course it is to the upside. Every time we move up, there's volume that's like 10% or more. Anytime we move down at all, we can move down bigger than the days that we move up and there's less volume. And nobody wants to sell. And then those days get eaten up immediately. But I digress. I got nothing else for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe. Hold on to your hats, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be it really won't be a bumpy ride. It's going to be a very smooth ride. Maybe bumpy. I don't know. Is a rocket ship bumpy? I've never been in one. I think that they are. You know, if you watch the movies, they're like. I think that it is probably a little bit of a bumpy ride. So we're going to stick with it. Hold on to your hats. All right. Bye-bye.